Oh,
Okay, we seem to be up.
okay. That's so weird.
Very weird. But
Huh.
I did the test this last time after unplugging and plugging the modem back in, and it told me my internet was very fast,
Oh, okay.
which is one of the nicest things
When
you
you
can
said
say
it
to
was
somebody.
completely down, I was like, oh, it's something to do with like an outside force, not
I thought so
restarting.
too, but it's not even hot outside, so like a brownout or something goofy like that wouldn't make sense. Anyway, we're good. We're up. We're here. Let's do it.
All right, let's
Yeah.
do it.
Okay.
Do it too.
Yeah. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the show. This is Lex and Matt's Excellent Adventure. On the other line, on the ones and twos, we got Lex Lutz, ladies and gentlemen.
Hey, everybody.
Yeah. And right here, your MC, the one that you call Matt Peters because his name is Matt Peters. What up, everybody?
Technically, sure. Yeah. Yeah, that's the name. That's your name. Sure.
No,
Technically.
Technically is another DJ, but he's dope as hell. So
Ew. Okay.
yeah. Anyway, so this is our big. I was gonna say E3, but we did that a few weeks ago. This is our big Comic-Con episode, everybody.
Yeah, I had a hard time. I kept saying, I was like, San Diego Comic-Con, and I go back and forth. San Diego Comic-Con is still the big one, though, as far as announcements are concerned.
That's right. It's
like
the
New
big
York
show.
gets some, but it's mostly comics and stuff. The movies are
Have you ever been to San Diego Comic-Con?
No.
No? Okay. I've been once. Dee and I went, actually. It was probably one of our first trips away together. We went to San Diego Comic-Con. It was a lot of fun. It was funny because we were big fans of the comic strip Penny Arcade at the time. And they have their own convention called PAX, the Penny Arcade Expo. And at that time, it was like they were celebrities. Like you could not get close to these guys. So when we went to see them at San Diego Comic-Con, it was weird because there's so much going on. Like it's the Super Bowl of Comic-Con. You were able to just walk up to them. Like Dee had maybe a good 10, 15 minute conversation with Mike, just talking about the creation of one of their characters that was popular at the time, the Fruit Fucker, which was like a juicer that seduced oranges.
Gotcha.
Yeah, it's pretty.
I know what it is, but I've never read any of it. So, or whatever.
So
read? Is it okay?
Yeah.
I was like, wait a second. Are those videos? I don't know.
No, it's a comic strip. So that was cool. And then surprisingly, unannounced, Hideo Kojima showed up. So that was pretty cool.
Just there? Like where you guys were?
Yeah, he was there, and they announced on the loudspeaker, like, Hideo Kojima, surprise everybody, he's here, he's going to do a signing over in this part of the floor or whatever. And so, I mean, at the time, it was like, yeah, okay, I'm not done with Metal Gear yet, I don't want to spoil anything, so I'm not going to meet him, but it's cool, he's here, so hooray. We saw a lot of cool stuff.
So you opted to not meet him because you didn't want to get spoiled?
That and the line was getting long, too. Like, those were...
Right.
There's so much to take in at Comic-Con. It was like, Hideo Kojima, that's cool, but, he wasn't like, oh my god, I need to meet him. So I'm like, alright, I'm gonna be cool, I'm gonna let other folks meet him. I love his games, but, we're gonna push on. That's cool, we're gonna do something else.
The conventions I go to, I always just like walking the floor and walking Artist Alley and stuff and seeing cool things and different things you don't see anywhere else.
Yeah.
So,
And that whole Lakes business, I wasn't messing with that.
I've never paid to meet anyone, get an autograph or anything like that.
I've done it a couple times, but I usually do it,
I don't like look down on it or anything. It's just not something I've ever done.
Right. I don't look down on it either.
I don't know
why. I challenge myself that if I'm going to meet a celebrity, I want to like interview them or have them do something for a podcast, because I figure it's a good use of both of our time. So I can meet them, tell them what a big fan I am. They hear that 50 billion times a day.
To be fair, it's a good use of their time if you're meeting them at convention because they're getting paid.
That is true. That is very true.
I would say you're not really wasting their time when you're spending $50.
I know. I just feel like a goober. Like personally, like it's cool if you want to meet David Tennant. That's A-okay. If you want to meet Will Wheaton, more power to you. But for me, it's like All right, man. I'd love to talk to you about your new project coming up, but I have 30 seconds to talk to you and shake your hand and take a goofy picture. So take it.
It's just weird to me. Yeah, and the pictures, and I don't know. I don't. It's very forced.
Uh-oh.
And
the nerd police are coming to arrest me now. Anyway.
Uh-oh.
So.
What did you do?
It's what I didn't do.
Oh, God.
Yeah. So anyway.
Somehow ignore.
I did pay to take a photo with Mick Foley, like a long time ago.
Right, I'm not. Yeah. It's just not something I've really prioritized when I've gone to conventions. I've never gone to those big, other than C2E2. I've never gone to the really big conventions either. I've never been to New York, Comic-Con. Never been to E3. Never been to San Diego. So I'd like to go to all of them one day.
You know, going back to PAX is really fun. Like if you're into just like the whole gaming vibe and everything like that, not the super competitive like StarCraft and Fortnite stuff, but just like, okay, I like video games and I like being around people that are enthusiastic about video games too in a positive environment. This is the place. PAX,
did you see that video that was going around on YouTube or on Twitter about like there's some convention that's specifically for YouTubers or whatever. Yeah. And I can't remember what it's called. Someone knows what it's called and they're shouting it or whatever they're listening to this on right now. And it was two kids. And I swear to God, the kids were like both 10 years old and they were breakdance fighting.
Oh, wow.
And the person was like, this is why I don't go to that convention anymore. It was one of my favorite, like, quote things to go like, this is why I don't do this anymore because look at this is terrible.
This is why I would go to one of those things, because if people are breakdance fighting, I want to be there for that. I want to see that firsthand, dude.
No. Oh no.
Oh man.
No,
I mean, I'd rather that than any other type of fighting. If you're gonna throw down, if you're not spitting bars,
obviously, yeah.
Then by all means, if you want to get down on the dance floor and sucker dance, then I'm there for that. But yeah, don't go stabbing people.
I'll have to see if I can. I think it's called VidCon.
Do you remember?
I'll have.
Remember a few years back when somebody stabbed another nerd in Hall H with a protractor?
Yes.
Like,
wait, was it a protractor?
It was a protractor. Like, this is something that you feel like, all right, this has to be made up. But no, this is legit. This actually happened. People were fighting over a seat in Hall H because that's where all the action happens at San Diego Comic-Con. And somebody got stabbed with a protractor.
Yeah, that's the problem that I have with, like, I would only go as press, to be honest.
Well, not only that, but you need a con buddy. You need a group. You can't, I mean, it's cool to meet people. Yeah. It's cool to make friends. But I would want to go with people. I wouldn't want to be solo, like Lonely Style.
No, it sucks.
Right. But let's get to some happy stuff. Let's talk about some cool announcements that were made over at San Diego this past weekend.
So many.
Oh my God. Lord. So,
did you, cause did you expect it to be this big? Did anyone expect it to be what it was?
You know what's funny? I read some articles saying that it was like disappointing. Like a lot of stuff didn't happen. And I think a big vacuum.
Yeah, well,
I think a vacuum was the fact that like Game of Thrones is over. Big Bang Theory is over. So you've got your two stalwarts that aren't there. Westworld isn't happening this year, so that didn't really have a presence either, even though they did release a new trailer, which was kind of cool.
I didn't watch it.
No? Okay.
Because it's so far off. I'm frustrated with Westworld.
Yeah.
I like it, but I'm very frustrated with just about everything involved with Westworld. As far as the time that they're taking, and I just worry that they don't have a plan, and there's a lot to it.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah, there's a lot going on.
I'm curious if the second season will hold up on a rewatch. I'm not sure. A lot of that stuff. But anyway, so I haven't watched it yet because I know it's not going to be out till like next year or whatever. So to me, it's like, why bother watching it right now?
Well, I got to tell you, I was of the same mindset as you. I saw the teaser trailer, and it did kind of pique my interest again. It teased me. It appetized me.
I did watch that one.
Yeah,
I watched that one because it wasn't like attached to Game of Thrones or something like that. It was attached to some show.
Are you talking about the one where they revealed Aaron Paul for the first time?
Yeah, they had a little teaser.
Okay, so this one is new. This one is different than that one.
Months back.
Yeah.
Yes. Whatever is involved with the new, because like Dolores was at the very end of the one that I watched, just at the very end, and that's it.
Okay.
So that was just a plain teaser.
Yeah. I was gonna say Jeffrey Tambor, but that's a different guy. Jeffrey Wright is in this, and I'm excited to see what he does with the character in this next season. But let's talk about some things that you did see. What did you see that stuck out to you at the Comic-Con?
I had an interest in Golden Compass for the first time.
Really?
I'm not a huge fan of those books, the way so many other kids my age were. Like, they were really into it. And I know they made the movie. I think I saw parts of that movie way back when that wasn't good. And then this new series, I saw the first trailer for it or whatever, teaser, and I was like, okay, whatever. And then this latest one, I was like, oh, okay, this is interesting. It's confusing. I'm worried it's going to be too in their world. Well, are they calling it Golden Compass, or are they calling it His Dark Materials? Either way.
His Dark Materials, a guide to what comes after HBO's... Oh, so this is a co-production by HBO and BBC.
Yeah. So it is His Dark Materials. I just looked. So they're going with the original trilogy name or whatever. And I think it should be a mini series like that. That's because it's a trilogy of books. I wasn't super into the books. I don't
think I gave them a chance. I don't think I checked those out.
Yeah. I just was like, this isn't really, I wasn't into a lot of that stuff. I wasn't into Harry Potter. I wasn't into, a lot of the things that other kids were into. I wasn't into it.
Is there like an episodic series of books that you did get into?
A series of unfortunate events. I did. Oh, really? Like.
What about that one? Did it for you?
Oh, I saw a Nick News segment where they were talking about how parents were really angry about the content of the book or something like that, and then I was like, sold.
Yeah, that's all it takes right there.
Yeah,
I feel like
I used to carry around the Da Vinci Code in Christian school, just to I just liked that because I was a little asshole.
But I feel like that Nick report was like a paid advertisement, just like hidden, in that.
Of course it was. It is exactly what it was.
What parents don't want you to know.
Putting the book out. Yeah, but it could have been legitimate too, because people were pissed off about Harry Potter. People are still pissed off about Harry Potter.
Yeah.
So, I mean,
it's already done the damage. Kids have been enchanted for years now. So, yeah, it's too late, parents. Yep. Give up.
They just don't understand.
I heard that somewhere. So, Golden Compass is coming back as His Dark Materials. Yeah. We got Ruth Wilson. We got Lin-Manuel Miranda. Lin-Manuel's on fire, man. Okay, so obviously Hamilton, wonderful. Mary Poppins, magical, whimsical, all that stuff. Everybody loved that too. He's also voicing Gizmo Duck on DuckTales. They rebranded Gizmo Duck as a Latinx character now.
You are trying so fucking hard to make this a DuckTales podcast, and it is not happening. Every week I'm like, how are the ducks going to be brought up?
It's because I'm a fan. That's all it is. There's already a better DuckTales podcast than anything that I can come up with, and that's called Duck Talks. Shout out to Duck Talks. They do good work over there. So Lin-Manuel, though, he's great. He's wonderful, and I can't wait to see what he does next.
He is. Yeah,
he also pops up on Brooklyn Nine-Nine.
Really incredible.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's Santiago's brother.
Mm-hmm.
Right? Yeah, I think so. Yeah, he's also one of those people that it's interesting. Other celebrities and famous people are starstruck by him.
Right.
And I find that fascinating. Like, Kristen Bell met him at Comic-Con, and she did, like, a little video and stuff of it, and she was, like, crying, freaking out.
Yeah.
And that's amazing to me. When someone has that, like that, because that level of star power doesn't really exist anymore. Only a few people have it.
Let's talk about Kristen Bell for a second. Like, did you see that picture of her? Like, just in tears? Like, at the Good Place panel?
Oh, yeah, where she was presumably breaking down because it was the last panel they were doing.
Yeah, that's what the story said. But man, that's sad. I mean, I'm glad that she cares that much about this project. I was wondering how they were going to juggle Good Place and Veronica Mars if that continues, which it seems like it is because people seem to be digging the fourth season. So.
I haven't watched all of it because I committed to writing reviews for all of it. So I've only seen the first two because I've written one review and then I haven't written the second review yet. Mm-hmm. And if I try to watch ahead, I'll just get lost and it'll just be one giant plate of reviews, which that might end up being. It might be 2 episodes at a time from this point. I don't know. Who knows, guys? Sign up for our Patreon. No, but I think Veronica Mars. Even just based on what I've seen, I think it's back long haul.
Yeah.
Because the format they're setting up of doing 8 episodes is much more feasible than a full-on network return. I think that it's clear that all of the people involved are very passionate about the show.
Yeah. That
it still holds a very special place in their heart, particularly Belle, who is obviously the biggest person out of that show. And, you know, television, I think that television, particularly television that shoots in California, has a big appeal to actors who are working parents.
That makes
because
sense.
Because they can stay in the area. They don't have to go to Thailand. Like, as cool as it is to go to Thailand to shoot a movie, you got to be away from your kids for 3 months, 2 months, however long. TV show would be even longer. So I think that, you know, I anticipated The Good Place would not have a very long run. I thought it would be like a 6 seasons kind of show.
Okay.
And so they're ending it a little bit earlier than I anticipated. But I think Veronica Mars will come back.
Yeah, that'll be her anchor.
But I don't know. I haven't seen it.
So we'll see how it goes.
So.
Yeah.
I think she'll do that in the occasional movie.
She might blow up at the end of the season. We don't know.
I don't know. If you know, don't tell me. That's my rule.
Yeah, you know, we usually ask the listeners to write in. Don't write in, folks, if you know what happens at the end of Veronica Mars season 4. Don't write in, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you for listening, though.
I will. Fuck. I won't do anything, but I'll be very angry and disappointed in you.
Yeah.
I'll
probably laugh, but I'll. Yeah.
So Marvel was clearly like the big one, so we'll delay on that. I was sold by the new trailer for It 2.
Okay.
It Chapter 2. I don't know if that's connected to San Diego Comic-Con, but it came out around the same time, so I assumed it was.
Yeah, that was targeted. You know, same market. I don't want to see anything else about this until it's out. I mean,
that is totally fair. I don't think I'll watch any. I mean, if there is anything else, I won't watch anything else. I'm very sold on it, though.
Yeah, I'm a little. I need to be reminded of why James McAvoy is good, because I enjoyed him in Wanted. I enjoyed him in a couple of the new X-Men movies.
Did you watch The Last King of Scotland?
No.
Okay, that's why.
He's in there?
So go watch The Last King of Scotland and then revisit. That will, yes, he is.
Okay. I mean, he was good in...
I think that's...
Like, he was good in
Split.
He was great in Split.
Yeah.
But Glass was kind of a miss. And, yeah.
That wasn't his fault.
No, it wasn't his fault, but I'm just saying, like, he was in 2 stinkers almost simultaneously with Glass and with the last Dark Phoenix. So it's kind of like I need to be reminded as to why I'm a fan of his. That's all.
Yeah, I wouldn't say I'm like a fan, but I'm fine with him. He's kind of one of those like vanilla guys that I'm like, okay, you're in this. That's cool. Yeah. Like, I don't think of him for parts though. I'm not like, oh man, you know who it needs to be? James McAvoy. Like, no.
Right.
But he gets the job done when he goes there.
Well, see, yeah, he's one of those type of chameleon guys. What are they call them character actors, right? So, like, I would never think of him for a role, but if someone was actively campaigning for him to get a role, I'd be like, all right, cool. Sure.
Yeah. And a lot of people won't protest if he's cast in a role. Like people aren't going to get up in arms about him.
As long as he's not playing
like McAvoy, whatever, he's good.
Right. As long as he's not playing a character that's like, should be played by a marginalized party, it's cool. Whatever. Just do your thing.
Well, yeah, that's different. But
this summer, James McAvoy is James Brown.
Oh,
again.
Honestly, I'd watch that. That sounds like a mess. It'd be hilarious. I would watch that.
Yeah, that would be a mess. Wow.
It just makes me think of the Tracy Morgan movie or whatever that he does in 30 Rock.
Who that ninja?
What was his historic?
That was my favorite one.
He was doing historical stuff. Yeah, that was good. He was doing like weird historical stuff towards the end, and it was so funny.
Oh, that's right.
Okay,
it was
question.
Great too. Yes, go ahead.
So Jay and Silent Bob.
Jay and Silent Bob.
Reboot trailer.
Yes.
Okay, so first of all, what do you think of the reboot trailer?
I thought it was an entertaining trailer. I thought it was very Kevin Smith. It kind of felt like a greatest hits, which is what you expect from him. So, yeah, I thought it was neat. It had a couple surprises in there.
Yeah, I really liked it. I'm looking forward to seeing it. Second question is, why the fuck do people hate Kevin Smith so much? Because, look, here's my thing with Kevin Smith.
Okay.
He seems like a nice dude. He genuinely puts out, like, things that he's passionate about.
Yeah.
Even if it's not your thing, he's just making stuff that he likes. He's having fun. And he's not negative about stuff. Like, he loves so many things. Yeah. I mean, dude praised the Justice League movie. Like, stuff like that. Like,
I'll do you one better. He praised Fantastic Four. He loved the Fantastic Four movie. Like, unapologetically, he'll still say, I love that movie. So, it's going to be difficult.
He's a very positive person.
Yeah, it's going to be difficult for me to play devil's advocate because I love Kevin Smith, and he's one of the reasons I'm inspired to do podcasting, because he makes it sound like fun, He makes it sound challenging and fun, and I love that. I think the reason why some people dislike him is because he can kind of come off as a starfucker in a way. Like the whole thing with him and Affleck, and how he continually brings up that he owns Ben Affleck's old house, that sort of thing. Or the chiding of Ben Affleck when he talks about him, that sort of thing. Especially when like the problems that Ben Affleck has had with rehab and all that stuff. It's like, all right, Kevin Smith tends to overshare. So the fact that Ben's in rehab or has been in rehab, we found that out in one of Kevin Smith's Evening with Kevin Smith specials, because he ended up in the same rehab facility as Jay Muse. So I think that might have something to do with it. Just the fact that he does tend to overshare.
I mostly see it as people, whenever I see criticism of him, they're shitting on his filmmaking. Mm-hmm. And I'm like, I don't really know what you expect of him. Like,
yeah.
You're expecting him to be something or another. I'm like, he's not even getting a lot of money from studios anymore either. Like,
no, it's all crowdfunded now.
He's made so many flops that he's really just like, I don't understand. He's doing the same shit that he did in the beginning of his career, like on his own.
Well, that could be that could be part of the problem.
What are you complaining about?
If you're expecting him to grow as a filmmaker, and you hear him talk about these amazing things that he's accomplishing and how he's so proud of this and how it's the best movie he's ever made and stuff like that, you go see it and it's just like, oh, it's okay, then it's like the overhype sort of thing. Like Tusk, for example. Tusk was like a big deal. Red State was a big deal. Red State I thought was okay. Tusk, though...
I didn't see Red State. I liked Tusk.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, I didn't love it.
I thought it was very experimental.
It was. I can agree with you on that.
And it's not my type of movie. I'm weird about horror movies anyway. It goes either way with me. But I was like, that was fucking weird. You did something totally weird and different. Cool. Like, you know, yeah. I appreciated that he did something. I just don't know. I don't understand why that's like, I'm going to go after the guy. Like, I just don't get how why they waste their time.
I don't go after that mentality anyway. But I mean, I don't understand that mentality anyway. Just like, I'm going after this dude. He needs to stop doing what he's doing because it offends me. It upsets me. And I need to be catered to at all times. Yeah. It's like, he's not hurting anybody. You know, he's doing his own projects. He's getting his friends and family paid. So, cool. See, I told you I was going to suck at the devil's advocate.
He's a decent dude, too. We're not hearing fucking stories about him harassing women. Like, that's true. Jesus Christ, bare minimum, it sounds like he's not being a fucking asshole in the industry that is rampant with assholes.
He is a little hard on his daughter sometimes, like in their exchanges, because so, you know, Harley does the DC Daily stuff on DC Universe, and he obviously helped her get that position and everything like that. I'm not saying she's not capable of maintaining it or anything, but you know, it helps to have assistance like that sometimes.
She's in Tarantino's new movie, so she's getting her own shit.
She's getting her own shit.
Yeah.
However, when he shows up on something she's doing, he's like in total dad mode, and it's kind of condescending, you know?
Oh yeah.
It's like you feel bad for her. It's like, this is embarrassing, because he takes over whatever he does.
Yeah, I think that's a inside joke thing as well. I don't know. But either way.
All I'm saying is I can understand people feeling uncomfortable about that, especially people that deal with that type of familial, you know, relationship with their people, and it's just kind of like a red flag for them. But like you said, it's probably how they operate, and it's, you know, none of our business. So, whatever.
Yeah,
but that has nothing to do with this filmmaking.
She's an adult, and she it's like on her to kind of like stand up for herself in that situation, because it's not the same as her, you know, being an actress or a host or whatever, and him being this powerful producer. It's her father, so like she needs to have that conversation with him on a different level. It's a totally different dynamic. And that's why he has that familiarity, but that's also like why she has to set boundaries. Yeah. Because it's her parent. Like it's different on both ends of the spectrum there. Mm-hmm. You know?
I mean, some parents can be overbearing too. You know, you take it from that angle. It's like, there comes a time where you kind of have to let your kid grow up.
Yeah, they definitely can be. I mean, I understand that. And then it's just, I don't know. I think that in that scenario, that's like, okay, I don't know.
I don't know either.
Like you said, we're feeling like with the inner work, I mean, that's like another level of like, what the fuck? Like, this is the inner workings of their relationship.
Right.
And like,
it's got nothing to do with
that's
us.
What people are judging. Like,
it's
if
got
that's
nothing
the
to do
thing,
with us.
that's what people are, like, I don't know. My thing would be if you're that upset with the possibility that he's an overbearing parent to his only kid, maybe that says more about you and the things that you need to work on than him, because like they can deal with their own shit and that. Like it's not you know, the abuse or whatever. Like, you know, it's not something you need to intervene on. I would be like, oh, maybe go get therapy. I mean, people yelling on the internet need to get therapy anyway.
I think everybody should have therapy. Exactly. Everybody needs to talk to somebody every now and then. So let's leave that at that. Let's talk about...
no one does.
What happened? Let's talk about his filmmaking.
But no one does.
No one does, right. So his filmmaking, I don't see a problem with that. It's like, if you like it, you like it. If you don't, you don't. This is like a love letter to the fans of his View Askew stuff. I think he's going back to that world. Right. So it should be fun. I'm willing to give it a shot. Of course, I'm a fan, so we're going to check it out.
Yeah, and I don't think. I think he's going to start doing television and stuff like that. I don't know how many more movies he's got in him.
Yeah.
Personally, but
I mean, he kind of doesn't need to anymore. It would seem either. Oh. It seems like this is just like his passion projects that he does now.
No,
and
no,
of
yeah.
course he does TV,
own,
like you said. He does like Flash and Supergirl and all that.
Yeah, he's directing TV. He's doing well there. He's making a show now, which we don't know exactly what that show is. That hasn't formally been announced.
Which may or may not be related to his Howard the Duck project that's been confirmed. So we don't know.
Yeah, I don't know.
There's so much, and nothing got announced at Comic-Con, but I would imagine something's gonna be announced soon about that. But let's dig back into Comic-Con. Let's talk about.
I would guess it might be something Star Wars related, and it'll be Celebration.
That would be amazing. But yeah.
Well, if they make Tag and Bink or whatever into a TV show, like that's the guy they'd pick, right?
That could work.
Like that's what they would do.
Right. Because it's kind of like his style anyway.
That's a wild guess. I just pulled out of my ass. So if it ends up being true, someone, I don't know, praise
someone tag us. Yeah.
Someone tag us. Yeah.
Someone tag us if it's true. Top Gun. Let's talk about Top Gun.
That looks good. Holy shit.
You don't think it's been too long?
When they announced it, I for sure thought that. When I watched the trailer, that all went away.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Do we know who's directing this? Because I'm not sure. I gotta look it up.
I don't. I know that he died. Yeah.
What's the full title? It's Top Gun something or other. Top Gun 2 Maverick.
Danger Zone?
Top Gun Danger Zone.
That's what they should have called it. Yeah, but I like this idea of drones are taking over. They're not manning these guys, and like these Top Guns are going out of style. Like they're going away. Mm-hmm. And it's kind of the last stand, the last thing. I mean, I think that's a good. Like, wow, that actually sounds like a good plot. Like that actually sounds like a reason to come back. Which I find fascinating.
Tom Cruise is back. Val Kilmer is back, which is kind of interesting, man. Val Kilmer, he's showing up again. That's great stuff. Let's see who this director is.
Well, he had cancer.
Did he? I didn't realize
so it wasn't 100%. Yeah, he had throat cancer.
Oh, wow.
I think he's doing okay now, though. Yeah.
Joseph Kosinski.
He sounds a little different in that movie.
Joseph Kosinski is the director. What does he mean? I don't know. Let's see. I'm going on the IMDb.
So,
he's directed.
I thought the trailer was
Tron Legacy.
Yeah.
Only the Brave and Oblivion, starring Tom Cruise. So he's got a little bit under his belt. Okay. There. Yeah.
He loves Tom Cruise. All right. I thought the trailer looked great. I'm usually not a fan of the come back after a very long period of time thing.
Yeah.
This, though, once I saw the trailer, I was like, fuck, sold. Okay, cool. Done.
Yeah. It should be good. Should be good.
So you don't feel that way, clearly.
I don't know, man. I'm not excited about Top Gun, but I never really cared about the first one either. So I'm not really the target demo here. But,
one of my favorite things about Captain Marvel was that Captain Marvel was Lady Top Gun. Plus superheroes. That's literally one of the best parts about that movie to me.
Okay, cool.
Top Gun rules. I'm a huge fan of Top Gun.
I see.
That was a good, solid Cruise movie.
Would you say it's your favorite?
He's one of those guys, he can make just about any movie, and I'm okay with it.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, for the most part, I liked Live, Die, Repeat. What was that one called?
Oh, yeah. I haven't seen all of that one. I watched the beginning of it.
Yeah. I thought it was dope.
Live, Die, Repeat. They re-released it under that title. Edge of Tomorrow.
Edge of Tomorrow
was the original theatrical.
But that kind of falls under
a sequel.
Yeah, that kind of falls under your Groundhog Day rule, though.
Yeah, that's why. That's why I didn't watch the whole thing, because I was like,
fuck. got sci-fi action. Though, so
I know. Yeah, it's tough. It is a Groundhog Day movie, so it's one of those I'm gonna have to prepare myself to go into it because I've heard enough good things, and I like the cat. I love Emily Blunt. And Tom Cruise he's one of those guys. To me, he's always solid. Like he's always good. He always brings everything to, the table kind of thing.
Yeah, he puts his all
I
into
realize
it
he's
for
the guy
sure.
we joke about because he's nuts. Like he's personally got a lot of fucked up shit.
Yeah.
I've also heard good things too, weirdly. Like how he's God, who was the actor? There was an actress who was saying that he like went to bat for her, making sure she felt safe and secure. I can't remember who it was. But it was really cool to read that. So it's like he has some good qualities too. I mean, he must, like anyone, but he's a part of a cult. And there's no doubt about it. Like, that's a cult. And he's basically their Jesus. And that's not good. When the shit goes down, we might find out some very terrible things about him.
It's unfortunate, really, when people get roped into that sort of thing, especially people that you legitimately enjoy, their work and everything.
Dee Moss is the one that kills me. Elizabeth Moss is the one that kills me, that she's involved in that. Ugh. Yeah.
I don't know, like...
It's just horrible.
It recently came to my attention that Beck is involved in Scientology, and that hurts too, because I really like Beck's new album, Colors. I've loved his music for years.
So, to be fair, there is a whole generation of these Scientologists now who are in their 30s, 40s, or whatever. Like Elizabeth Moss is one of these people. They were born into it.
Yeah.
Their parents
that's what I was
were
getting to. It was kind of like a familial thing, so.
Yeah, so you can't that's different. The people that converted to it, that's a little more questionable to me.
Yeah.
But people who were kids and grew up in it, and now they're like, oh god, the girl from, I think it's funny because I brought up Swim Fan recently on the podcast, but the Erica Christensen, she was in Traffic and Swim Fan, and Parenthood was another show she was on. Anyway, she's one of those that, like, I listened to her on Dax Shepard's podcast, and she was kind of defending Scientology, but she grew up in it.
Okay.
She's a Scientologist, and, like, the way that she talks about it, it sounds perfectly rational. It sounds like it's just like a humanist view or whatever. Like it sounds reasonable. And we all know, like, the deeper you get into that thing, like the more intense and crazy it gets. And if you go and do something wrong, the worse things get. And you can't really get out of it. And that's horrible.
Well, see, that's interesting though, because I like hearing about that type of thing sometimes. Like, I like hearing about how people who are functional in society actually explain these sort of things, how they actually rationalize being involved in that. Because, it does seem like a very foreign idea to me. But people who I would, have a conversation with and respect and meet halfway, it's like, okay, there must be something there for you to actually... ride so hard for it. So let's hear it. What is it? I'm not going to agree with it. I'm not going to say I'm going to agree with it, but I want to hear what that rationale is. That's interesting.
Yeah, I think that, so first of all, you should listen to her on that podcast, because I think that would give you a good perspective of how they view, like, the more moderate or whatever view their religion or whatever. I agree. I'm fascinated by it. I think that the reason that those work is because it's very similar to, like, The Secret. Do you remember when that was a big thing?
Oh, yeah.
Like, the book or whatever? Mm-hmm. Yeah. So it's like positive thinking, all that stuff. And, like, we want that to be real. We want that to be a thing. And it's not saying you have to go take this goat and cut its throat and, like, that's how you get the thing that you want. It's saying, like, all you have to do is be super positive, like, just spirit fingers the shit out of life, and everything will come to you.
Right.
And like, that's not, like, that's not necessarily how things go, but it's a nice way to look at the world.
Sure.
And if good things happen, then you go, oh man, like, It's because I was spirit fingering the whole time. That was gross.
I don't know what you do with your ghosts over there, but I don't do that sort of thing. No, I mean, I get it. Having a positive outlook on life is always you hear that in a lot of different ideologies and religions and self-help and all that stuff. Like that's
But that's how they get you, though. Like, that's how they pull you in. Any of it. Like,
yeah.
And then they go, okay, now you guys start giving us money. Now you got, like, I mean, it's built into everything. Like, sure. I mean, and but the difference with Christianity or, whatever other, is that you can leave. And the problem that I have with Scientology is this Sea Org and everything like that. Like, you can't leave. You clearly can't without your life becoming hell. And that's where it changes from a religion to a cult. Like, if you can't leave, then it's not a religion. Yeah,
that's true. That is very true.
And I don't think that even the moderate Scientologists acknowledge that. I don't think they acknowledge that. Like, I think that they think they can leave at any time. And that's crazy to me. Like,
yeah.
Like, because I'm like, oh shit, you think that these suppressive people outside of Scientology, they're just lying. And they're making up falsehoods to try and hurt Scientology.
Sometimes you get to make Saturday Night Fever, and sometimes you get abducted. That's all I got.
Okay, yeah, I thought there was more. That's what I was.
I thought there was too. There was just kind of like you get abducted sometimes. That's pretty much as bad as it gets. You get abducted.
That's the night fever.
Yeah.
That's that night fever. But anyway.
Comic-Con.
I don't remember how we got to that point.
Man,
but Comic-Con.
Comic-Con.
Did you see the Nancy Drew trailer?
Yeah. Nancy Drew. Did you read that series growing up?
No, I didn't.
No, me neither. I think that was before our time. Both of our collective time. Nancy Drew was a thing.
I was just trying to come up with a way to say that too, because like that and the Dutch Boys. What are the boys?
The Hardy Boys.
Hardy Boys.
Yeah.
Why did I say the Dutch Boys? What's that? Is that a gross thing?
Maybe it's a Red Dead thing. I don't know.
The Dutch Boys.
Are they related to the Apple Dumpling Gang? Like the Dutch Apple?
Apple freaking Dumpling Gang?
Fuck yeah, I did. It's a Disney flick. With Don Knotts. No. That's a specific reference to a different thing, and if someone gets it, you get a virtual high five. Friends. Anyway, so yeah, no, I never read those. I read Goosebumps. Yeah. Encyclopedia Brown was big. Goosebumps was huge, of course.
I watched a lot of Wishbone. Does that count? Does that count as reading?
Encyclopedia Brown. Yeah, you read all the classics starring a dog. Magic School Bus. That was a book. Yeah, that works.
Yeah, I fucking read all the time.
Book, yeah, I read. Watching PBS all day. But yeah, that's an odd series. Okay, so this is
for this week.
You know what? Growing up though, I gotta tell you, book reports, sometimes some kids would try to pass off episodes of TV shows as book reports and get called out.
Oh, guess what? I was that kid. I was that kid. Not in high school, but before that, we had to do the little baby book reports.
I mean, I'm not gonna lie.
So Nancy Drew,
I would make up books to review.
Yeah, that's genius. You were just smarter than me.
There you go. I wrote a book and I reviewed that book. What? That's it. The end.
You didn't write the book, but you made up the book. And
I wrote the Clues notes. I did the outline.
You know what? It wasn't great. 3 out of 5.
3 out of 5. My book was okay. It was all right.
Nancy Drew, I have no attachment to Nancy Drew. Just like I had no attachment to Riverdale.
I think
to
part
Archie.
Part of the appeal to me, because I did read a lot of Archie comics coming up, I think that part of the appeal of Riverdale is the fact that it was just like, oh, we're going to fuck up Archie. We're going to fucking change everything. This ain't your daddy's Archie.
Fucks.
This Archie fucks.
Yeah.
Not only that, but he's going to fuck Mrs. Weatherby. God. I can never get over that, man. It's just so fucking weird. Because you think of Mrs. Weatherby, how she looked in the comic book and everything, and being all kindly.
She was in the comic. See, I've never read an Archie comic in my life, other than the Mark Waid, Mark Waid stuff, which I.
In the comics, she was like an Aunt May sort of design, like classic Aunt May, like just kind of doddering elderly.
Who doesn't want to fuck Marissa Tomei though? Let's be honest here.
That's why I had to be specific about which Aunt May I was talking about. We're not talking about Tony Stark's ex Aunt May. We're talking about
Aunt May.
We're talking about Sam Raimi Aunt May.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So anyway, yeah, I don't have any attachment to Nancy Drew either, so I don't really care if they fuck her up. It's like, cool. It's just another teen drama at this point.
It looks just like Riverdale, though. They're gonna have to find a way to make it a little bit more original, I think.
Yeah. It's funny the effect that Riverdale has had on teen drama since its release. Because even the creator of Riverdale, I follow him on Twitter, and he was just posting images like right before Comic-Con of different teen dramas that have come and gone that have stolen the aesthetic of Riverdale. It's always like the central character.
But that visual, like you're talking about, like you're talking about the posters and stuff to promote Riverdale.
Yeah. Well, not only that, but just like the whole vibe.
Okay, well, the whole vibe is separate, but like the posters thing, because I did see something like that going around, and I was like, yeah, they did the same fucking posters for all of like the CW shows in 2006 when they launched, like that's just generic TV. I mean, if you look through any like Once Upon a Time, Vampire Diaries, they all have that same look to them.
Right. If they really want to turn,
I think that is a little tricky. But the premise of like quirky boy, and like girl with high ponytail. Yeah, of course. Then sure, Riverdale's. Yeah. I still haven't seen all of last season of Riverdale.
Yeah. I mean, it's unfair for him to kind of. It's unfair for him to kind of just like criticize all that because, like I said, the basic appeal of Riverdale is just taking these tropes and turning them on their ear. You're expecting something out of Archie. Now, if they were to come out with like a Richie Rich CW show or something like that, because Richie Rich is
that sounds terrible already.
Yeah, it does. But they could do that, and they could give it the same Riverdale treatment, and it would be like the same
they
vibe.
Could cross over Richie Rich just into Riverdale, just have him show up in Riverdale, and he's like, I don't know, what is he, like a drug lord rapist or something? What's he going to be in the notes?
Like, he can be a benefactor of Hiram Lodge's like business or something
He's
like that.
He's just Leonardo DiCaprio in The Wolf of Wall Street, just like snorting off of hookers' asses and screaming into a microphone, red faced. Yeah.
I want my Casper the Friendly Ghost CW show.
Oh my god.
It's like Twilight.
That would just be. Yes, exactly. It would just be Twilight.
Basically, but with ghosts.
Ghost banging.
Yeah,
I would watch that.
Man.
Just for the content for here alone.
Hell yeah.
For our podcast alone.
I would write reviews for that. See, I would go to a CasperCon just to write reviews for that CW show. You know what? They could even have Wendy cross over with Sabrina the Teenage Witch. Boom.
I have a question. Would CasperCon be sponsored by Casper mattresses?
They'd be crazy not to. And our podcast about Casper on the CW would have to be sponsored by Casper as well.
Oh.
Sleep Like the Dead
by.
with Casper mattresses.
Jesus
they've
Christ.
wanted to use that. They've been tempted.
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
Oh my
I'm
god.
Sorry. We went way off.
Yeah. No. So that trailer was like, meh, okay. They're doing the same thing. The Creep Show was another show that got a trailer. Did you watch that one?
I didn't see that one. Like, this is the first time hearing about that. So, Creep Show.
Okay. So there's a new Creep Show.
Yeah.
Which I found out about when this trailer dropped. and it's got a lot of people in it. It looks kind of low budget. It's on some network, online streaming network that I've never heard of.
Is it Epix?
Shudder.
Shudder. Okay,
Shudder.
so Shudder is like a horror network where a lot of like indie underground type horror movies have been airing. So they try to make this an add-on like a Showtime or an HBO. Like with YouTube TV, you can actually order Shudder for like an extra $7 a month or something like that.
Okay, yeah. I got it. So it's its own thing. The trailer was decent enough. I mean, I like that idea of like, going back to Are You Afraid of the Dark, going back to the original Creepshow. Mm-hmm. I wish that the host was just the same way that he was in the 90s, though. Was that like that puppet dude, whatever he was called?
Oh, the Crypt Keeper?
Crypt Keeper, that's it.
From
I wish
Tales
it was just that again.
Yeah, that'd be cool.
Wait, what's Creepshow then? What am I thinking of?
I think you're thinking of Tales from the Crypt.
What's the difference?
Creepshow was kind of like that too. It's an anthology. I don't know what Creepshow is then. So Creepshow was a 1984 movie, but it was also kind of like a horror anthology. But the reason why people paid attention to it was because it was directed by who's the big guy? George A. Romero, and Stephen King had something to do with it, and it was based on like the old comic series. It was like an homage to Tales from the Crypt. So it's understandable that would kind of like coexist in your mind.
Okay,
that
so that explains why I was getting really mad that guy wasn't showing up. I was like, where the fuck is the guy?
Like, where's the Crypt Keeper?
I kept waiting for the guy. I kept waiting for the Crypt Keeper, and I'm like, that's going to be the hook at the end. Like, give me the guy. He's funny and creepy. Give me the guy.
Death. Yeah, come on,
and
man.
then they didn't show the guy. But they didn't show the guy, and I was like, well, fuck, I guess they're going to hold on to that one, try to get me to subscribe. You imagine how fucking pissed I would be if I subscribed for Creepshow?
Oh, man.
And I didn't get the guy? I'd be so mad.
So that reminds me of something.
I don't give a fuck about Creepshow anymore, because I just wanted him. That's it. That was what I was in for. It's not there anymore. Fuck this show. I'm done.
Yeah, but it's got some big names attached to it, so I mean, it's still worth a look. You know what's funny?
Sure.
It kind of reminds me, like when I was little, I wanted to watch this movie called Iceman, and I was so like invested in it because I was sure that it was going to be about Iceman from Marvel Comics.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
That would drive me nuts.
It was not. It was about some type of like man in the wild or something like that. It was like from 1984. That's what it was. Timothy Hutton and John Lone. I have no idea what that movie was about. I fast forwarded through it because, like, you know how, well, maybe this is just.
You're waiting for Iceman.
I'm waiting for Iceman. Like, it's like I had an aunt that would rent movies, and I'm not gonna say which aunt it was because this is pretty much just like bootlegging. She would rent movies. She would have one of those double-headed VCRs where she could like play something and record it onto another VHS. And so she would rent 3 movies.
She's dead now, so don't worry about it.
Yeah, no, she's gone. So she would just like have these VHS tapes and it would have 3 movies written on the label. And it was like, fucking Ready to Rumble and Passenger 57 and Iceman. I don't know why those 3 movies popped in my head. Those 2 rather. Okay. Iceman. So I'm like, cool. Iceman. It's about the dude from fucking Marvel. It's gonna be great. I'm like, okay, maybe it's after this movie.
I would be sold. I fucking love Iceman. Oh my god, Iceman rules.
He was one of Spider-Man's amazing friends. Like,
yeah. Iceman rules.
He was sharing an apartment with Peter Parker and Firestar, whose real name I don't quite remember right now. But yeah, that happened.
No one cares. It's fine.
Yeah. So anyway, that was comic related, so I don't feel bad about that divergence. Creepshow.
You're good. So I didn't know what the fuck the show was. I thought it was Tales from the Crypt. I was waiting for the guy. I was like, when's the thing gonna happen? And the thing never happened because it's the wrong fucking show. So, I wouldn't have even added this to our notes had I known that it wasn't the same fucking show.
Well, you know what? No,
Guys,
it's cool. I'm about to save it.
I love horror. I just really love horror. That's what's on my dating profile. Like, it makes me super appealing. I just want to watch horror films. That's my if I fucked guy's voice.
Is that what that is?
Yeah, that's what that is.
All right, you heard it here first, folks. It seems like, regarding Creepshow, Joe Hill is going to be one of the writers on there. It's going to have segments from Rob Schrab. Rob Schrab, who is I guess he's writing for Rick and Morty in this upcoming season. He also wrote the comic book, Scud the Disposable Assassin way back, for folks that are fans of like those indie books. And then I guess Paul Dini is going to be writing something for it too, which is interesting. So yeah, I guess he's kind of stretching out a little bit. Stars include David Arquette, Tobin Bell from Saw, Big Boy from Outkast, yeah, Kid Cudi. And those are the only names that I recognize. Oh, and Trisha Heffer from Battlestar Galactica and Lucifer.
Yeah, so I don't care about that anymore. That sounds really bad. I mean, I don't. I was waiting for the guy, and he wasn't there. I still want Crypt Keeper.
You just wanted the puppet. Yeah. All those like top tier talent names, just like fuck them. I want the fucking Crypt Keeper.
Who gives a flying fuck about David Arquette when you can have a puppet? Like, okay, give me the puppet any day of the week.
That's fair. I'll take the puppet over David Arquette.
Yeah. I mean, everyone would take the puppet over David Arquette. Let's be honest here.
Yep. So.
Yep.
What else we got here? We're talking about the different merch that they had at San Diego. So my buddy Corey Green went. Corey Green is a professional comic colorist, a good friend of mine. He had a great time. He said that the con was lit. So if you get a chance to go, definitely check it out, according to Corey. I asked him to get me two things while he was there.
Okay.
My man tried his best. Could not get them because they were in such high demand. Number one.
Yeah.
They made an action figure based on Macho Man Randy Savage. Why is that special, you might ask? Well, it's not just any Macho Man Randy Savage. We've had countless Macho Man action figures. No, this was specifically the Macho Man from the Slim Jim commercials. The one that busts in talking about need a little excitement, snap it to a Slim Jim. Oh, yeah, dig it. All that stuff. See, that's the Macho Man that I wanted. It had the jacket. He even came with two little tiny boxes of Slim Jim to hold and just, look all angry and just like constipated the way he looked all the time. I felt like concerned about him sometimes, but he's fine. I mean, he's not fine. He's passed away now, but back then he was fine. I'm sad now. Anyway, moving on. I also asked him to get me this Batman.
Indifferent.
I asked him to get me this Batman.
That's like my Ralph. I'm in danger. Like, I'm indifferent about this.
So there's also a Batman Lego set, 80th anniversary thing. That's just like Lego Batman standing on top of like a rooftop, and you can see the bat signal in the background. And that was cool. Unfortunately, exclusives at Comic-Con are getting harder and harder to obtain. They have raffles. You have to basically win a raffle for the honor of being able to purchase this thing. So, yeah, it didn't quite work out, but I appreciate him for looking. Also, they had some other cool stuff that they debuted at the show, including an action figure everybody's been asking for, Fat Thor.
Yeah. I kind of want it. Like, I don't, because I'm like, I can't do any more action figures, but I do at the same time. I'm glad he's the dude, man.
He's the dude.
Like, I think that's great. I'm very excited that they're making that. Will I buy it? I don't know. Like, I do love Fat Thor.
Yeah. Dad by
I hope
Thor,
he's fat
definitely.
in the next movie.
I don't know, man. He's going to be in space, and if Dragon Ball has taught me anything, it's all you have to do in space is like crunches.
But Natalie Portman is Thor now.
That's true. That is true. So Odin's son needs to step up his game.
Fat now commission.
He's just gonna it'd be great.
Yeah.
Uh-oh. You there?
But yeah, no, I was letting you talk. Sorry, go ahead. Yeah.
Oh, what? No.
Hello?
No, it'd be great if, like, in the next Thor movie, he just has a cameo. Like, all we do is see him on the couch playing, like, Fortnite with Mike.
Oh my god, that would be hilarious.
And Korg.
I would love that.
Yeah, that's it. We just
I want him to be in it. I'm very excited about Portman Thor.
Yeah, I am too.
I am.
That's what I'm saying. We could have a whole movie of Portman Thor and Tessa Thompson as Valkyrie, and just check in on Odin's son every now and then. It's cool.
Yeah. Blade. I'm excited about Blade.
Yeah.
I think that's going to be great.
Yeah. Now, this is the first time that this has happened in universe where, well, I shouldn't say the first time. It's one of the rare occasions, but it's the most high profile time this has happened, where a character, within the MCU, well, two characters in the MCU have been played by the same actor. Now, of course, people are shouting out, what about, Chris, I always do this. Which Chris?
Evans.
It's Captain.
Evans.
What about Chris Evans? He played Human Torch and he played Cap. That wasn't both in MCU. One was MCU, one was in the Foxiverse. What about Viola Davis? Because she played, Alfre Woodard, rather. Oh, it's terrible. I'm so sorry for that. Alfre Woodard, she played, Black Mariah, and she played the lady in the hallway in Civil War. What about that? See, that's not high profile, though. She had a cameo in Civil War, and if you really try to work it out in your headcanon, you could say it's the same character if you really tried. But we're talking about Mahershala. I'm going to mess up his name every single time, aren't I? Anyway, we're talking about
Ali.
Yes, we're talking about him. And he played both Cottonmouth, of course, in Luke Cage, and now Blade. Mm-hmm. It's kind of dope.
Blade, and apparently he used his Oscar win for Green Book, which was, Green Book had its own controversies and everything like that.
Yeah.
And he used his Oscar win to get into a meeting with Kevin Feige and literally just said, yeah, so I want to be Blade. And he's like, all right. Like,
sure.
It was pretty much that. I'm like, holy shit. Way to use your power, dude. That's
Let's
awesome.
Let's make this happen. Right. So if you win an Oscar, you get to call your shot, basically. That's how it goes.
Yeah. So
I'm excited for
so there
Shang.
Was that. So Portman.
Yeah.
Okay,
Portman.
So we're going over Marvel. So there's Portman, Thor. So Thor 4, formally announced. Blade. What else is there?
Shang-Chi is going to happen. That's finally going to take place.
I don't know anything about this.
No, I don't either. But what's great about it is that okay, first of all, we're getting a Shang-Chi movie, which is something that folks have been asking for a long time, because, a lot of folks were disappointed in Iron Fist and how bland it was, Danny Bland. But Shang-Chi is also another, popular martial artist within the Marvel universe. He is typically Asian, and we're getting a full Asian cast here, so that's kind of cool.
Scarlett Johansson's going to be wonderful in this.
She's going to be so busy. But what really gets me about it, though, what's great about it is that they're actually going to be following up on that thread of the Mandarin, because the subtitle is called Shang-Chi and the Legend of the Ten Rings. So, of course, we know the Ten Ring Society are the party that kidnapped Tony Stark, and they've been present in all these different Marvel movies, and of course we know that we saw the fake Mandarin in one of the Iron Man films, but now we're finally gonna be getting the real thing. So that's gonna be cool. That they're finally finishing this story.
Yeah, finishing it, but also opening up a whole new world at the same time.
True.
I would imagine Doctor Strange is probably going to be involved with this one too.
Yeah, Doctor Strange. We're going to be getting another Doctor Strange movie too.
I don't really care. I didn't like the first one.
I dug the visuals. I dug the visuals for it, and I thought Cumberbatch was decent. I didn't mind him. But I think Doctor Strange was better used in movies that weren't his, which is unfortunate.
Agreed.
Yeah. So what's great about the sequel, though, is it's going to open up... The
sequel might improve it, though.
Yeah, it's going to open up the multiverse. Because it's called, like, Doctor Strange and his multiverse adventures or something like that. So... Yeah. So that'll be fun.
Journey into the center of the multiverse or whatever.
Yeah. So there were a few movies that weren't announced.
That's cool.
Yeah. Like,
not release dates announced.
No. Were you surprised by the lack of any mention of these films besides just, hey, they're happening, you know?
Everyone's surprised by Black Panther 2 not getting a formal announcement. I'm not, but that's mostly because the cast is so high profile at this point. Like, they're probably working on things. They're probably trying to get the schedule down. Like, yeah. I'd imagine they'll announce that as soon as they possibly can. But the cast and crew involved with that, they want to keep the same creative team involved. I think it's a scheduling thing. Personally.
I hope that's the case. I know that, it's going to take a lot. They want that
out as soon as possible. They want Captain Marvel out, too. Like, the sequel to that as soon as possible. They want these to get out there, but there's so much involved with it, you know? And when they rush things, like, you know, we've seen what happens when things get rushed, particularly with DC. Like, it's not good. So, it's frustrating. Like, I wanted that announcement too. I wanted to know next February that, like, that's going to be it. Like, we're going to get the sequel. Like, it's going to be on the anniversary of when the first one came out. You know, that I wanted that, but I understand that timing wise, that's not going to happen. It's going to be, you know, another 2 years at least.
Yeah.
Unfortunately.
Yeah, because they got to get through Phase 4. What's also interesting to note is that we don't have an Avengers or any type of team-up movie that we know of yet in this Phase 4. One of the other movies may serve as kind of a de facto team-up spot for the characters, but as I mentioned, we're not aware of that yet. Because, like, Civil War kind of caught everybody off guard, too, with that aspect. We knew there were going to be a lot of heroes in there. We didn't know it was going to be, like, basically Avengers 2.5 before it happened, before the details started coming out. So who knows what could go down with this, you know. There's going to be some type of... I'm
happy to take a break. I need one for a while.
Yeah. I wonder if they're going to try to work up to another big bad, though, if they're going to start laying those, planting those seeds.
I think so. Why wouldn't they? I mean, it makes sense for them to start to lay the groundwork down. I don't know what it's going to be, but maybe Galactus or whatever.
That'd be interesting, because then they would have to acknowledge that.
Because they have it back now.
They do. Yeah, they have full rights to that stuff once again, which, oddly, some people were surprised that they didn't mention Deadpool at all, but, I mean, that, I would think they would want that to be a surprise. They'd want him to just show up randomly at the end of some movie.
I'm still worried about how Deadpool's going to fold into this. I'm worried they're going to fuck up Deadpool. Because I really enjoy those movies.
Well, I mean, we should be concerned about Blade, too, because Blade was a pretty hard-edged trilogy, too. You know, lots of blood. I mean, by nature.
R.
Yeah, by nature, it's got to be a harder edge type of flick. So, yeah, we're going to see what's going to happen there.
Yeah, I don't know. It'll be interesting to see. I don't really care about the Eternals that much.
No,
I know that was announced. But I have a feeling it's going to be like Guardians, where I'm like, I don't care, and then they're going to make it, and it's going to look really good, and I'll be excited.
I'm happy that Kumail Nanjiani is getting work. You know, he's staying busy.
Oh, yeah.
Angelina Jolie, that was pretty interesting. Not because of, like, oh my God, it's Angelina, but just like, for them to not involve her for so long and then to bring her in now, it just seems kind of like an odd choice. Well,
Kevin Feige talked about that recently with Keanu Reeves, because people were talking about, is Keanu Reeves ever going to be in the Marvel movies? And he was saying that, like, he's talked to Keanu Reeves for years now, and he had the same thing with Gyllenhaal. He was having conversation. He knows people that he wants involved, but he has to wait for the right project, for the right role. And it has to all click. So, and I mean, we just saw it worked out great with Gyllenhaal. It was fantastic. So I think that it's smart on his part, because I think he knows where people belong. Like you're saying, like Doctor Strange, even though Doctor Strange wasn't great, Cumberbatch is really great in that part. Like, he is the person who should be playing that role. So they're very good at casting. I trust them on that front.
Sure.
So Good work. So I'd imagine, like, like Angelina Jolie was someone they had in mind for a while for something, but they didn't quite know what. And now the Eternals is becoming a thing, and so she's in it,
Yep. Should be interesting to see how that unfolds.
Mm-hmm.
So I guess we should talk about a little bit of DC business at this point. I know what we have on the notes here, but something that kind of surprised me that they didn't even really trot out at all was the Joker movie. There was no press or anything really about that.
I think that they know that movie's not going to make it.
Really?
I don't know. That's just my gut feeling about it. I could be very wrong, but
I would almost say that them not saying anything about it could be a good sign, because if they think it's going to fail, it can actually be different than anything that they've done yet, which is welcome.
I don't know. I just watched Shazam over the weekend, and that one's like my favorite right under Wonder Woman now. I loved that movie. So I'm like, keep making shit like this. This is good. That and Wonder Woman. I'm like, yeah, these are good. Go with this.
Yeah. Yeah. I mentioned something like that on Twitter too. I was like, it's not the fact that I want something whimsical like Shazam, because I enjoyed it as well. It's not that I want something like that every time. It's like I want something fresh. I want something that feels like the creator actually enjoys what they're doing. Because I got that.
I walked away from Shazam going, what more do I want from this?
Yeah.
And the fact of the matter is, not much. Like, I was really happy with the results. I laughed a lot. The visuals were great. The casting was perfect. Like, I was really happy with it. So
that's where we disagree, because I want a lot more from this. I want more Shazam like that in the comic books. Because, this recent, well, I shouldn't say recent, but the comics that they've been putting out recently for Shazam, for Captain Marvel, have been just kind of like, Like, I can't even really give it a fair shake, because, like, Gary Frank's art always makes Shazam looks sinister for some reason, and I can't get past that. He just looks like he's always up to no good, and I'm like, Jesus, like, why is this man always just looking like kind of crazy, man?
When you watched the movie, you saw the Gary Frank and Jeff Johns, like, their story, basically. I mean,
Jeff Johns, for sure, yeah. I mean, and he did a good job on that. Like, the idea that it's not just him.
I think that's awesome.
He's a team, it's not just like, it's Billy Batson. It's like, no, this is about like an orphan finding his family. And I think that was the best way to go about it. I don't know what they're going to do next, but they're going to try again. I don't know how they're going to work Black Adam into that, because that's a decidedly different character with a similar skill set. But yeah.
I think he's going to be the villain, right? He's the villain in the next one?
Yeah, he's going to be the villain. But I mean, even just like, okay, so Sivana was a little bit on the dark side, but he wasn't just like as intense as Black Adam would be. Black Adam in the comic books, he has ideology that is just about his home country and about him sticking up for his beliefs and that sort of thing. Almost making him an anti-hero in some stories, almost like a Punisher. I mean, he kills, but there's a reasoning, at least an explained rationale, but behind what he's doing. So I'm interested to see if they go to that level of nuance, or if they even try to approach that, or if it's just The Rock being goofy, which is fine too. So we'll see how it goes.
Yeah, I'm fine with either one, because they both sound like it would work to me. Like, I'm like, okay, cool. I'm on for the ride. Like, I'm along for the ride with the Shazam movies in the future, and I'm along for the ride with the Wonder Woman movies. Everything else, I'm kind of like, meh. All right, maybe. Well, oh wait, no, I'm excited for the Batman. Obviously, I forgot about that.
Yeah,
because I was thinking of Affleck but no, we're getting a new Batman. I'm very excited for that. Joker. I understand why DC didn't come out and do stuff, because it's like, this was Marvel, really. DC shined with their TV shows, though. I mean, this Crisis crossover is going to be fucking nuts.
There's so much happening. And if they're announcing this sort of stuff up front, I cannot wait to see what happens on this crossover. I'm
Tom
always
pleased.
I
know Tom Welling's going to be on it. I just know it's not announced, but you know Tom Welling, you know Michael Rosenbaum. Like, it's going to fucking happen. Like,
let's talk about what we know is involved here. So we got, like, the big news to me, the biggest thing was Brandon Routh back as Superman. Yeah. There's Kingdom Come Superman.
Yeah, that's
wow.
Yes. My God.
So that's kind of cool.
I love Kingdom Come. I realize everyone loves that, but fuck you. I love it.
Okay.
No. I feel like it's that thing where it's like it's like saying, yeah, you know, I really love like The Godfather. Like, yeah, no shit. It's great. But no, seriously, I love it. I'm so excited to see any sort of like iteration of that on screen.
Yeah. So the reason why we're even saying that he could be Kingdom Come Superman is because when he was at the panel at Comic-Con, he undid his shirt, he opened it up, and it's like, bam, the Superman symbol. But wait, it's the Superman symbol from Kingdom Come. So we're gonna see how that goes. It's a very striking image too. I love it. So we'll see how it goes. Also,
it's gonna be exciting.
I'm not familiar with the actor's name, but the guy who plays Superman on the Supergirl show. He's not okay. So he's not replacing Tyler Hoechlin.
Hoechlin. I think it's Hoechlin.
Okay, so he's not replacing him. He's going to be there too. So this is really a crisis here. We're getting multiple versions of the same heroes, and I feel like like you said, Tom Welling might come back. We know we're getting, Linda Carter's coming back as Wonder Woman. We're getting that too.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, man. I think it's going to be anyone they can get. The reason that I also think Tom Welling will be involved and Michael Rosenbaum and stuff is that now because of podcasting and Amell, him and Rosenbaum are friends with Stephen Amell. I feel like Amell is making this happen. I think he's
Stephen
doing
Amell being friends with both of them.
I think it's a great tribute to the show that created all of these shows.
Yeah. I wonder if
Amell is the reason all of these exist.
Are they gonna try to like redeem Dean Cain at this point and try to get him in there, or are they just gonna kind of like say, all right, you had your moment?
No, because he's already her dad in it.
Yeah, but
he died. I saw people talking about Dean Cain.
Right? Didn't he get killed off or something?
He's dead. Let it go. Yeah.
Okay.
He did. Also, he's got like personal shit apparently that like no one wants to deal with him. I don't know.
Yeah, that's what I thought it was. Yeah, man. Could you imagine?
Yeah,
oh my God.
I mean, but if they want to, I guess I don't care.
Well, I was gonna say, could you imagine if they bring in Nicolas Cage as they finally pull that trigger?
Yeah, you got $5, Nicolas Cage will show up. Didn't he have a whole thing where like he lost a lot of money because he didn't pay his taxes or whatever?
Yeah, he had to sell his like Tyrannosaurus skull or something like that. Yeah.
Yeah.
He leads a life I can't even fathom.
Money. No. He named his son Kal-El. Like, dude.
That's true.
What?
Yeah. All right, we could do a whole episode about Nick Cage. So
I would say Brandon Routh story was the biggest story of Comic-Con.
Yeah, I agree, because nobody saw that coming. It was like, okay, he's right there, but he's already playing the Atom. So it's like, yeah, no, he's there. They wouldn't double dip. But yeah, they're double dipping. It's great.
Yeah. So basically, like, we knew that Marvel was gonna like bring a lot to the show. Because like they're announcing Phase 4. It's gonna be a big deal.
Yeah.
We did not. I don't think any of us expected what DC was bringing to the game with the TV shows.
Yeah, that and the fact that
it's really great.
It is great. I don't think that DC even know what they're doing with the movies at this time. So, yeah.
No, I don't think so. I think they're gonna keep rolling with the ones that are working. Obviously, we're gonna get Wonder Woman beginning of next year.
Yeah.
We're gonna get a sequel to Shazam. We're gonna get the Birds of Prey, Joker, the Batman, potentially trilogy. Aquaman, I'm sure, is getting a sequel.
Yeah, that did way too well.
I don't know what else we're getting.
We're gonna get, and back to the TV front, we know we're gonna get Batwoman on the horizon. That's coming up.
Right.
What else?
Right. That's basically gonna be the Arrow replacement.
Yeah, Doom Patrol
Batwoman
was renewed for a second season, so that's good news.
Yeah, I saw that.
And then one more thing. Oh, Young Justice also got renewed for another season. They're not playing around with that one anymore. They know how the outcry is going to be if they try to cancel Young Justice again. So fear not.
Yeah.
So that's cool.
I feel like they announced another one, but I can't remember.
Well,
it must not have been that big of a deal.
Pretty much a known entity. That's coming back soon too. I'm excited about that.
Yeah. So I mean, it was a good Comic-Con. I was really excited from it. Like, I don't know, like you said, there were some people that were not positive about it, but I'm like, holy shit. Like, a lot of really cool stuff came out of this. I'm excited.
Yeah, same here. I don't know, I don't know, what's gonna happen with, I don't know why Spawn just came to mind, because they've been trying to make this movie forever, and it seems like year after year, Comic-Con comes and goes, and we don't hear anything from Todd McFarlane besides, "Oh yeah, I'm working on it. The script's coming. It's coming, guys. Don't worry." And it just never happens. Did you ever care about Spawn? Was that a comic that you read?
No,
Okay.
no, I never cared about it. Never cared about the movie. I remember that being a thing.
Yeah.
And I thought it was kind of cool looking visually, but I was never into it. No.
Yeah.
I'm kind of fascinated that it's still a thing people care about, because it seems so 90s.
Yeah.
Such a 90s thing.
I think it's a lot of people just holding on to the nostalgia of it. It's up to issue 300, and that's a big milestone for any of the Image books, especially ones that have been going since the beginning of Image Comics. So, I mean, kudos to Todd for keeping the flame alive. Him and Eric Larson keeping their books going for that long. So that's really
cool.
Yeah. Well, folks, I know there was a lot of stuff that happened at Comic-Con that we didn't get a chance to talk about. So if we missed any of your favorite stories, or if you have any comments about the stories that we've gone over on this episode, feel free to reach out to us. Visit the website, lexandmattpod.com. It'll tell you how to get at us on Twitter, on Instagram, on Facebook, all that good stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I have a link to our Patreon. You can come subscribe to Patreon, contribute to the show. That would help us out much.
We have some special things coming up on Patreon. In fact, we got a bonus pod coming up. When you hear this episode, the bonus pod should be on the Patreon. Mm-hmm. So check that out. For right now, without further ado, we've made you all wait long enough.
Yep.
Let's get to our drawing for the full HD version of Batman, the animated series.
Okay. So I wrote down all of the names of the people that entered. Thank you so much for doing that.
Thanks, guys.
And if you did the whole sharing thing, you got 2 entries. So they're in my hat, my NASA hat right now.
Nice.
That's the sound of them in the hat. All right. So I am picking one right now.
Yes.
All right. This
Good
is
luck,
it.
everybody.
Dun, 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 dun. At Vonnie VR Official.
Vonnie
on
VR
Instagram.
Official. Congratulations. Thank you so much for entering.
Okay. So we will direct message you.
Yeah. Going to reach out to you. Keep those DMs open, Vonnie, so we can come out and let you know what's going on there. It's just a digital code, so we'll send it over. For the rest of you guys, once again, thank you so much for entering. Thank you for listening. Thank you for checking us out, giving us a shot. And we're going to have some more giveaways in the near future that we'll let you guys know about.
Yeah. Always exciting stuff. So thanks so much for listening, everyone. Let us know your favorite things about Comic-Con and all the stuff you're excited about, some things you wish they would have talked about, everything in between.
All that good stuff. All right, folks, that's this episode. I'm having internet issues, so we're going to cut it short this time. That's why we're kind of speeding on through this stuff.
Yeah.
But thank you guys for listening. We love you all. I'm Matt Peters.
I'm Lex Lutz.
And be excellent to each other.
Bye.
See you.